This is sports handicapper Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review, back with your MLB overnight lines for the games on Saturday, June 18th. The week has been phenomenal in terms of picks and recommendations on these daily overnight lines videos. We'll see if we can keep it going on Saturday. Let's start by taking a look at the Chicago White Sox taking on the Cleveland Indians in a matchup of, well, in terms of starting pitching right now, you would think this is a pretty big mismatch, and it is really hard to believe that James Shields, at one time in his career with the Tampa Bay Rays, was looked at as an ace pitcher, was looked at as the future of the franchise, was looked at as someone that could be just a dominant stopper to any losing streak on a starting pitching staff. Well, now all he is a shell of that former self, as James Shields. Wow, it's been ugly for him. It's been beyond ugly for James Shields during this dramatic fall, which all started really in his final start with the San Diego Padres. And then the trade happens with the Chicago White Sox, and maybe people are starting to think, okay, maybe James Shields can turn it around. Well, he's endured a similar fate in each of his first two starts with the White Sox. He has allowed 14 runs on 17 hits in just 7 innings over his last 3 starts. 4 home runs allowed in those outings, more walks than strikeouts in those last 3 outings. Just terrible stuff right now from James Shields. That 3-start stretch that he just had has got to be among one of the worst, and it is actually among one of the worst 3-start stretches that any pitcher has had in Major League Baseball history. It's been that bad for James Shields. I think his confidence right now is a major issue. I don't know if he's got it right now. To me, it sure doesn't look that way. And he's going to be in tough here because his mound opponent is Danny Salazar in this game for the Cleveland Indians, and he has been a strikeout machine. He's gotten wild at times with walks, but for the most part, he's kept those in check, and the strikeouts have been just he's been getting swings and misses at an incredible rate. He has a 2.19 ERA this season. He's been even better pitching here in Cleveland at Progressive Field, a 1.50 ERA for Salazar in 5 home starts. Cleveland 4-1 in those games. Cleveland's 5-2 in Salazar's 7 previous starts against the Chicago White Sox. He's quite simply and honestly the better arm. Cleveland's the better team right now. I don't think there's much denying that. Cleveland's still in the hunt here in the AL Central, whereas the White Sox are starting to fall out of the American League Central race after just an incredible first month of the season that I think a lot of us knew was not sustainable, and it's definitely been proven. Cleveland, it's too steep, obviously, to recommend the money line on the Indians in the north of minus 200 in this game, but look for Cleveland on the run line. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to recommend the Indians minus 1.5 on the run line. I think they can win this game by margin once the run line options become available. I'd take a look at Cleveland there to win that game by 2 or more runs, because James Shields, to me, the evidence right now not there that he can fix whatever problems are ailing him. He's just absolutely a pitcher in rough shape right now. Want no part of him. So I'll look to Cleveland in that game, preferably on the run line, and maybe you can play Cleveland team total over as well. Might be worth a look as well to see if they're able to get some hits and make life to continue to be miserable at this point for James Shields. The Detroit Tigers, they're going to take on the Kansas City Royals, another American League Central matchup on Saturday, June 18. You know, Matt Boyd, the Tigers lefty, was really an extra piece in the David Price trade that the Tigers had with the Toronto Blue Jays last year. Matt Boyd, to me, just does not seem to have anything more than fringe stuff at the major league level. I mean, I don't think Matt Boyd can be anything more than a bottom of the rotation type of pitcher. Can maybe plug away, go 5-6 innings, give up 3-4 runs. I don't think he's ever going to dominate here as a major league pitcher, and the evidence has certainly proven that, especially in his last few starts. Boyd's allowed 20 runs in his last 23.2 innings of work over 5 starts. Detroit just 1-4 in Matt Boyd's last 5 starts. And then on the flip side, we've got Edinson Volquez here on the mound for Kansas City. He's having a good season. This guy's just been plagued with, bouts of wildness with control and command. Too many walks have been an issue for Volquez in the past. Consistency hasn't had any of it really in years past, but he's figuring it out slowly but surely here with this Kansas City Royals team. He's got a 3.90 ERA this season, and he's been especially good here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. He has a 2.06 ERA in 8 home starts this year. Royals are 6-2 with Volquez on the mound here at home. He shut down this Tigers lineup back in April right here in this ballpark. 7 innings of shutout, 5-hit baseball against Detroit for Volquez in that start. And the Tigers lineup, it's very potent. We know that. But boy, the absence of J.D. Martinez is a blow. There's no question. He was just recently placed on the 15-day DL with a fractured right elbow. It's going to hurt. That's going to take some punch out of the Tigers lineup. There's no question about that. He's had a great season at the plate once again for the Tigers. All we need is Volquez to be serviceable, because I think the Royals are going to be able to get some runs off Boyd. If this game's close in the latter stages, I think the Royals have the edge with their bullpen in the latter innings against Detroit's, which has just been an absolute gas can all season long. This Tigers bullpen has been very, very shaky throughout the season. Kansas City right now currently around minus 130 as a home favorite. That's pretty good. That's pretty good value. I mean, minus 130, considering this is a Kansas City team, 22-8 in 30 home games this season at Kauffman Stadium. They've got an incredible home record, and I think they have the pitching edge. And they might even have a little bit, I think Detroit's got the better lineup overall. But Kansas City, J.D. Martinez is a big absence, and Kansas City, I think, is still going to be able to score some runs here in this game. So I'm going to lay the minus 130 price here with Kansas City. I think there's enough edges in their favor here. They can pick up the win here against the Detroit Tigers on Saturday. How about the Milwaukee Brewers and the LA Dodgers? Let's get some National League flavor, I guess you could say, into this breakdown for Saturday, June 18. I think we can get some runs in this game from both sides. Brewers and Dodgers played a wild 8-6 slugfest in the opening game of this 4-game series on Thursday. And I think we might see some runs here in this game. Chase Anderson on the mound for Milwaukee, very up and down. He's had some brilliant outings. He's had some very poor outings. And his last start against San Francisco falls in the poor category. Not very good. Only went 5 innings, surrendering 4 runs on 5 hits. He's been bad on the road, a 5.02 ERA for Chase Anderson in 7 road starts this season. He's gone 5 straight starts without pitching more than 6 innings. That's a problem because the Milwaukee bullpen really isn't that good. We saw it last night. They coughed up the lead. They allowed the Dodgers almost to come back against them in the 9th inning off their closer, Jeremy Jeffress. It's just you got to hold your breath whenever Milwaukee's bullpen is in the game. So, if that bullpen sees a lot of time, the Dodgers certainly could score some runs, not only off Anderson, but late in this game, too, against that suspect Milwaukee bullpen. However, you've got Mike Bolsinger on the mound for the LA Dodgers, and Bolsinger, to me, he's never impressed me. I think his stuff is average. I think we've seen him run into difficulty in each of his last 2 starts after, he had a decent couple of outings there, but I think teams are going to start to catch up to him gradually. Each of his last 2 starts, Bolsinger allowing 9 runs on 12 hits in his last 10 innings against Colorado and Arizona. And this is another guy that really hasn't been an innings eater, and that's a problem area. Bolsinger hasn't pitched 6 innings in any start this year, and the Dodgers bullpen, especially with that middle relief, gosh, it's scary. They can rely on Kenley Jansen. They can sometimes rely on Baez. But other than that, it's a shaky, scary bullpen in that middle relief. There's guys that can give up runs. So, again, if Bolsinger does not pitch deep, Milwaukee might be able to do some damage with their lineup against the LA Dodgers middle relief. It would be nice to see Ryan Braun get off the schneid because he's really slumped at the plate as of late. Guys like Jonathan Lucroy, Aaron Hill, Jonathan VR, those are the guys that are really carrying the Brewers offensively right now. But I think it is a matter of time. I think Ryan Braun will finally, get out of this little slump he's been in lately. It might happen here against a very suspect pitcher in Bolsinger. Milwaukee 5-1 to the over in their last 6 games. The over right now, or the total rather, sitting at 8 in this game. You can get plus 100 with this total. And I'm going to go over 8 runs, plus 100 price. I think we can get a little bit of a higher scoring game between the Brewers and Dodgers on Saturday, similar to what we saw on Thursday in the series opener. And before we end this overnight lines video for Saturday, a couple games quickly. Toronto, Baltimore should be interesting. We're going to talk about 2 pitchers coming back and trying to make a return. Yovani Gallardo, I want no part of this game. Certainly no part of Baltimore. I'm going to have to see it before I can believe it with Yovani Gallardo. I was betting against this guy a ton before he went on the DL in the first month of the season. with Baltimore. He was either betting the other team or betting the over in his starts. We'll see how he fares here in his first outing with Baltimore. R.A. Dickey, though, has been great. I mean, this is the best stretch of baseball that I think R.A. Dickey has put together for the Toronto Blue Jays since he's joined them. And the lineup right now, the Jays lineup's been absolutely incredible. Edwin Encarnacion is a man possessed right now. He wants a new contract, and he's going out there and showing it right now. He's been absolutely crushing the baseball at an alarming rate. And Michael Saunders hitting well. Josh Donaldson, the MVP of the American League last year, he's gotten back into good form at the plate. It's a lethal Blue Jays lineup when they're all hitting at the same time, and there's a lot of guys in good form right now at the plate. This could be trouble for Gallardo. I'm going to stay off it because maybe he's made the adjustments and ready to pitch better returning from the DL. But like I say, I'm going to need to see him get a start under his belt before I get involved. So I'll lean a little bit to Toronto, but I'm not going to get involved. We'll see what Gallardo can do in his first start back and then make some betting decisions in his future starts after he pitches on Saturday. And let's talk about Tim Lincecum. We got to end the segment here talking about Timmy Lincecum, the freak. What a long road back for this guy. Of course, back-to-back Cy Young awards with the San Francisco Giants early in his career. Big part of that 2010 World Series win for the Giants. He's been at the beginning of his career, he was one of the best in baseball. It's been a long, hard fall for him. Just a rough couple of years with the San Francisco Giants to end his career. Now he's really trying to make a comeback from the dead here with the LA Angels. He had this showcase, I guess you could say, where a lot of teams were just scouting him, and the LA Angels are the team that stepped forward and took a shot here on Tim Lincecum. And from what I've read, Tim Lincecum, he has been down with the AAA team in Salt Lake with this particular team, with the Angels minor league affiliate, I should say. And that last start, if I can bring it up here, Lincecum's last start, which was last Sunday in AAA, threw 7 innings of one-hit baseball, walked only 1, struck out 8. Now, his fastball was 88 to 91 miles per hour. That shouldn't shock anybody. I mean, Tim Lincecum's not going to be a flamethrower anymore at this stage of his career. And the talk is that he's going to have to be crafty, be deceptive, mix his pitches, change speeds, work both sides of the plate. He's going to have to become a pitcher as opposed to a thrower. He can't throw the high velocity anymore. He's going to have to be crafty now in his delivery, and I'm fascinated to see how he pitches. I'm not going to get involved in this game from a betting perspective, but it is worth talking about. I'm fascinated to see. I wish Tim Lincecum all the best because he's had a long, hard road to get back to the major leagues. He'll be making his first start in the major leagues here on Saturday with a team other than the San Francisco Giants. So I'm fascinated to see how he fares. Oakland hasn't decided as of this recording who their starting pitcher is going to be on Saturday to oppose Tim Lincecum in that game against the Angels. But again, it's a game I'm going to sit back and watch. Not going to be betting it, side or total. Not going to have a wager on either. I just want to see how Tim Lincecum fares, and then we'll make some decisions moving forward on whether this guy maybe has changed things up a bit. Realizes he has to pitch in a different style now in order to have success. I'm fascinated. I wish him all the best, and we'll see how Tim Lincecum fares Saturday for the LA Angels in his return to the major leagues. That will do it for my look at MLB overnight lines for the games on Saturday, June 18th. A reminder, this weekend we've got CFL division preview videos to get ready for the Canadian football season, which kicks off next week. So I'm looking forward to that. As always, check out sportsbookreview.com every single day for the latest in sports betting information. I'm sports handicapper Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review. As always, continue to keep cash and tickets and enjoy the games, and good luck.
Always on the go? Bet365 has one of the top mobile platforms in today's market. Sign up today and don't let your busy life keep you out of the game.